breed in Southern California. Because if you live next to the coast, you can grow cool things. If you lived in, you can grow warm things. And if you live somewhere in between, you can grow anything. And so it was just an incredible place. I had no idea where I was. You see, I was just going around. So I wanted to start out. How many of you have been to Santa Fe, New Mexico? Okay, there's a few people who have. What was one of the things you learned about Santa Fe when you went there? There's one thing you should learn very quickly. It's high. It's 7,000 feet above sea level. And as a result, anyway, because we're so high, our day temperatures, even in summer, rarely exceed 95. And most people think, we're desert. Well, we are dry, but we don't have the heat that's associated with, say, Phoenix, which is what, today hitting 117. Thank you very much. I'm glad I'm not there. The other thing is our night temperatures rarely are above 65, if ever, even during the summer. It's not uncommon for us to stay between like 55 and 65 at night during the summer, it's our low. So you have this really nice climate for growing Cattleyas, by the way, and anything that grows like Cattleyas, well, there we go. We also have 30% more UV light. You know what that means? It means dermatologists do a booming business. We have about 15% more visible light than we have 340 days of full sun. And since I've been in Texas, I don't think I've seen the sun for more than 5 hours on any one day. And yes, that is snow. we do get snow. We've had as much as 2 feet. This last winter, this storm, I think was about 10 inches or so. But we do get snow, and it can be quite cold. In the winter, we can be down as low. We usually, every winter, have temperatures that dip for at least three or 4 days during winter below zero. So it can be quite cold. I run my greenhouse, though, at about 64 degrees all the time, because I do have fails in there, and the minimum temperature I want is 64. And as a result of these temperatures and the large amount of light and highlight, Cattleyas do really well. And so we find though the blooming seasons shift by about 3 months in some cases. And colors, this is the fun part. This is exactly the same way. This flower was taken, this picture was taken in New Jersey before we moved from there. Yeah, sometime in New Jersey about that point. And this is after blooming in December. And this is not Photoshop, guys. This is so faded once. In fact, right now, this plant, what? This plant is now in bloom with about 8 or 10 flowers on it at this moment. And it'll come back. It's one of my favorite little crosses because it's a somewhat miniature. It blooms year round. It always has flowers and buds. But it's also a good sized plant. And then this is another example where the colors are darker, more orangey yellow, and more living yellow. Okay. So that's growing in Santa Fe. We're not going to play portrait for you today. Yeah, in case you wondered, the Vinicona paths, like those dark purple ones, were all started by Stuart orchids. It was called Fred A. Stuart orchids. That tells you how long ago I knew. They were called Fred A. Stuart orchids. The old man was still alive. He died in like 97. And his kids took over from there. There we go. But I do have a question. And here's the question. Name a species in the Cattalaya lines. And it doesn't have to be Cattalaya, it could be Epidendra, it could be Encylia, Brassivola, Eulalia, that is normally green with a wider green lip. Normally green, not an alpha. That's important. What do you think it is? Any idea? Okay. Well, it's not Brassivola digniana. It happens to be. It happens to be Encylia mariae. How many of you have seen this flower? Oh, I'll show you a picture later. It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's absolutely gorgeous. It has a problem, though. It does not like to grow real warm. It wants to be it wants to have some cool nights. And so in this climate, it would not be a particularly good plant to grow. But its hybrids are okay. And we're going to talk a little bit about growing these things too, because I think that's important for you to know about. And so, where does the green color come from? Well, it comes from the fact that there's chlorophyll in the flowers. That's where the green color comes from. It comes from chlorophyll in the flowers. And it's the absence of the red pigments, the anthocyanins, the purples, the reds. And in unifolia Cattleyas, those big flowers, purple flowers, when they don't have anthocyanin, they're white. And with the bifoliate Cattleyas that have lavender, purple, or pink flowers, they're also white when you don't have anthocyanin present. But the bifoliates with bronze colors or browns, when they are lacking the anthocyanin pigments, are green. And they're usually green with a white lip. And here are these first five are the most important species in breeding greens. They are Guttata alba, bicolor, granulosa, mariae, and digniana. Brassivola digniana, Arnold, or Eulalia. By the way, I tend to use the Sanders list of generic names because they contain more information in the labeling. And we'll see examples of that. Supporting actors, Laelia, Xanthina, and Cattalaya Orchids, because they've been used to a lesser extent, but Xanthina in particular has been used to make some very important green hybrids. These are typical, these are Cattalaya guttatas. The Cattalaya guttata alba up here is the green and white form that we talked more about.
Is that the tiny one?
Huh?
The tiny one?
No. No. Guttatas can be about this tall. The plants, flower, top of the flowers. Guttata alba tends to stay more like about like this. The flowers are about three inches across, and you can have heads as many as 15 or 20. Yeah, they're quite showy. The thing is these are bifoliate Cattleyas. And here's some things about bifoliates you need to know. Number one, you never, ever, ever, ever repot a bifoliate without new roots showing. If there's no new root growth showing, don't repot it. You wait. Because this is a group of orchids that bifoliates are really sensitive to repotting, and they have to have new root growth showing. And believe me, if you don't, they will pout and sit there and probably die. And that is not something I'm just threatening you with, that's spoken from experience. Okay? You know what they say, you're only an expert your first 1,000. Well, I'm about 10 times over that, so I think I can speak with some expertise to these points. But it's really important when you're growing these. They also like to be grown in a way where they dry out a little faster. So you grow in a more open medium. And what they want to do is they want to be water and dry out. Water and dry out fairly quickly. Uniformly Cattleyas, you don't need to worry so much about that. But these guys, it's a little better if you let them dry a bit more between waterings. But they don't want to go long without water. And particularly in the growing season. When they're growing, you want to keep them pretty well watered. In the winter, when they slow down, you can step back from the water and wait. And by the way, if you want something that blooms in the summer, these are really typically summer bloomers. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about this plant. In the 1950s, it was either the 50s, it was happening around the 50s, late 50s or so, there was a guy by the name of B.O. Gracie. And B.O. Gracie was one of the premier orchid growers in California. He started in England. He was an Englishman. Came over to the U.S., worked with a company called Arkon Mount I, which eventually was bought by Store Orchids and on and on and on. But B.O. Gracie broke out and made his own orchid nursery. And in the 50s or so, he imported a whole batch of the Cattalaya guttata from Brazil. That's where they grow. And in that group was one that bloomed out, like the one in the right. It was the first time anyone had ever seen a green Cattalaya with a white one. Okay. He immediately sells it, hides it, and cuts all the flowers off. So he doesn't want anyone to know that this plant exists. He grows up the seedlings, and when the seedlings start to flower, he starts to sell them. And he sells them for a king's ransom. They're $100, $200, $300, $400 a piece, depending on the quality of the flower or more. That was the first introduction to the green Cattalaya with a white lily. Keep that in mind, because up until then, it was unknown, totally unknown. An interesting story? Yeah. You know, Gracie was an interesting guy. He later developed dementia. And when people discovered that, we would go in and they would buy plants and we wouldn't remember what he should be charging, and they'd get plants from him for a song. And they took really took advantage of it. But he was making a damage for everyone else, and that didn't do that well. This is Cattalaya bicolor. Most of the green breeding in bicolor has been done with forms like this, which are green and blue and bronze overlay, not ones like this with the deep purple. And very few crosses have been done with the album form because, frankly, they're rather uncommon, and there's only a couple crosses I know of that have done them. But I will show you pictures of one later. This is Cattalaya granulosa. And by the way, all these three that I just showed you, guttata, bicolor, and granulosa, are all bifoliates. So remember what I told you about growing them. And I can grow on the warm side too, by the way. And really like that temperatures more around 60 rather than 55. Whereas a lot of Cattaleyas do quite well, and I can just do down to 50, not around 55. Granulosa. There is an album form, but it's not the one that we're used to reading. It's more like this form. But this is just to give you an idea of the color range. And granulosa was used once, but it made it incredibly important. It's made some incredibly important losses. We'll see those. This is mariae. And unfortunately, it's not quite, this doesn't show this is quite as bright green. These petals can be really bright green, not this yellow green. This is an older flower. But look at that lip. It's not lip green. Look at that. Big white lip. And so, mariae, as I mentioned earlier, likes to grow a little cooler. It is a native of Mexico. And it's now, I don't even remember what the name is now. Epiphyllus, I think, something like that. It was Postetia, and they changed it again. I just still refer to it as simply mariae, it's just easier. But this is Their leaves are a gray green, and their bulbs are rather bulbous shaped, or bulb shaped, and it really grows well mounted and likes to kind of hang down. Beautiful plant, beautiful flower. This is Digniana. These are 5 different cultivars of Digniana. I love this plant. It's one of my very, very favorite orchids. And for a couple of reasons. One, it blooms now. And it has an incredible fragrance. And it is a pretty reliable June bloomer. And it's not a hard plant to grow. We have gotten so accustomed to seeing green ones, we've forgotten one very, very important thing. The normal color of Digniana is not green. It's maybe a greenish color overlaid with lavender at the side of the leaves. And this one up here, the reason I put it there is because it is more typical of what you actually see in the wild. I had the more or less good fortune when I first started out growing orchids to have a guy in town where I lived who had a cut flower nursery primarily. And he wanted a June cut flower that he could depend on. So he imported 600 plants of Digniana from the Honduras. This was back before citing, so it was back where you had that on the paper. I got a chance to see every one of those in bloom over a period of 4 or 5 years. And out of that 600 was not a single pure green one, not one. They all had lavender shading. And in fact, many of the so-called green ones, like this one, if you look at the back of the sepals, there's some red, there's some anthocyanin pigmentation. They are not pure greens. There's only a couple that are in their alba forms. Now this plant, by the way, likes to grow at very high light. You can practically grow this outside in full sun. I don't do totally full sun, but you can get it pretty bright. And if you get it to grow well, it's a very robust plant, and it does produce these magnificent fringed flowers with this incredible fragrance at night around 8 p.m. So if you don't stay up late, you might miss it. But I have, like I said, I have 5 different cultivars in my greenhouse. I just love it. Here's some sporting actors. This is Laelia Xanthina over on the left. And it was actually important for making one particular cross to come to a few minutes. And then there's Forbesii. Cattalaya Orchids. Probably the most important parent for that is Waikiki Gold, which has been used in a lot of stuff. We'll see some advantages of that. Now, again, we're still, this Forbesii, we're still dealing with the bifoliate. The Laelia Xanthina is more like a typical Laelia, like Purpurata or Lobiata or Lobata or Crispa or something like that. It grows well, pretty well warm to intermediate temperatures, down to 55 is okay, down to 50 won't hurt it. And however, I must tell you, it's relatively rare cultivation. I don't know, only 1 or 2 places I've seen it for sale anytime recently. But it has yellow-green flowers, and they've been useful in hybridizing. Now, here's something that can take nothing else away from this talk or this culture. Take this one. There are 2 kinds of greens. There's the green yellow and the green white. What do we mean by that? A green yellow means the flower opens green, and when it starts to fade, it turns yellow. And a classic example of that is this DLC Ports of Paradise. They open green, and I'll tell you, if you grow it in bright light, it turns yellow fairly quickly, and the flowers hold for a long time, but it goes from green to yellow. The green-white is precisely what it suggests. It goes from green to white. And the reason it does that is the green-yellow plants have yellow pigment in them. The green-whites have no pigment other than the chlorophyll green. So when the green fades away, they become kind of white. And actually, by that time, they're drying up and they're kind of falling apart. But to go from green to white, not from green to yellow. And this one down the bottom is Atalanta laying green ice. That's my plant. Was my plant. It died. These are Cattalaya guttata lines. This is when we took Cattalaya guttata, when they saw this green and white, you completely understand how incredible this was. There was nothing else. So they made a couple of crosses. This one's Epicat Piano Woods was made with mariae. And one of the things that happens with mariae is you reduce the plant size. Piano Woods only grows about 6 to 8 inches tall, maybe 10 at the very most. Guttata gets up to a couple of feet. Mariae is a very small plant. So it reduces the size. It also reduces the flower count down to 4 or 5 max. Crossing the Cattleyas Antina made Lagoon. This is Wallace green, and this is I have this plant in my collection. Cross was done by Stuart Orchids. I have this plant in my collection. I still have the original Stuart's tag on it. It's been in my collection for 30 years or more, and so it has some interesting properties. We'll come back to that. Then Stuart's made another cross with Guttata alba. They crossed it to Gigas forma alba. And here's where we get into trouble with the naming system. The cross name is Cattalaya Atalanta. And if you look in the RHS registry, there's a Cattalaya Atalanta 1893 and another 1908, something else. This is the 1893 cross. The original cross only had to be done with purple forms because the green-white form of Guttata alba wasn't discovered until like the 60s. It wasn't even released. We used it until the 60s. And so Stuart's made this cross, and it turned out that Gigas forma alba and Guttata alba breed from the same albino group. And so you get these Cattalaya Atalanta Hawaii, which is a very pale green with a white lip, but much larger petals than you see there. And the flower count is pretty good. You can get 7 flowers on a stem of one of these, or more. Really quite nice. And then there's a cross of Cattalaya Guttata alba with Cattalaya bicolor maize. This is mailer. Some of the Mrs. Mailers are very, very green with purple spots. Others are more bronze. The big problem with this cross, how tall is bicolor? Have you ever seen a fully grown bicolor? From the floor. So you cross these two, what do you get? You get plants about this high when they're full grown. It's not, I don't find it a particularly attractive plant because it's just so big, but the flowers can be quite nice. And of course, no one can resist trying to make EC Progeny. Now, Progeny was originally made again. It was the lavender form, or the colored form of Guttata many years ago. It was redone by Stuart to make with Brassical Digniana Mrs. Chase. Now, here's the thing. Digniana Mrs. Chase is very important because it's, at that time, the only true alba form of Digniana. Nowhere in the plant can you find any anthocyanin pigment, not in the flower, not in the leaves, nowhere. It was a true alba. And so they made the cross, hoping they would get some nice green and white flowers. And this is about the best they did. It's not a particularly nice cross. And I show it only because I want you to understand there's the good, the bad, the ugly, and you may find this. And this one's kind of somewhere in between the good and the ugly, but depending on your taste. For me, I don't like it. That's me. Now, Lagoon, the Loki green, remember that was lately Santina by Guttata alba. And then they crossed it back to Guttata alba and make Fleetwood Lane. And here's the thing, I kept trying to figure out, why would they do this? Why would you make something that looks like Guttata alba? Well, here's the thing. guttata alba flowers, the guttata flowers as a whole, only last about 2 weeks. Okay? When they may bloom, and I have that plant, as I said, in my collection, it holds its flowers for 4 weeks, maybe 5 or 6, depending on the weather. If it's really hot, it'll drop out. Or if it's really cool, it'll last about 6. The liquid lanes also last about 4 weeks. What they were trying to get to was a Cattalaya alba type flower that would last, and that's what they got. Now here's the thing that's interesting. Notice that there's some purple here, which means there's some anthocyanin. When you make this cross, like this, you get about 50% are green and white, and 50% are got some purple in them. How do I know that? Because I remade the cross, and I've bloomed out about 25, 30 of them, and it's almost exactly a 50-50 split between green and white, and those with some purple. Now, how much anthocyanin they have in them varies from just a few spots or a purple lip to things that, like this, is burnished flower. Now, when Stewart started selling liquid lanes, they picked the ones that were going to be green and white, and they put a price tag of $75 on them. Now, how did they pick them out before they bloomed? Well, it turns out it's very easy. Anybody can do it. Because here's the deal. When the new growth starts, if they're going to be green and white, the sheepy bracts, around the new growth and all that stuff, it never has any anthocyanin. It's all green. It's all green. But those that have some anthocyanin pigmentation in them, there's some anthocyanin pigmentation in the sheepy bracts as it starts to grow up. That's how they did it. And that's how I do it. Someone calls me and says, I want one that's green and white. I said, okay, I'm going to the greenhouse. I look for one that's got green shoots coming up versus shoots with color in them. And that's what they get. So, and it's been kind of a fun thing to do, to see this. It's really kind of a fun plant. Next. And again, because this is so much bifoliate Cattalaya, how are you going to grow it? You're going to not repot it unless it shows new roots. You're going to keep it watered, well watered during the growing season. There's going to water, so water dries out a little bit, water dry out a little bit. You're going to, in the winter, you're not going to cut back the water when it's not growing as much. Okay? Now, when we take liquid lane, we cross it to Atalanta, makes Atalanta lane, variety to be nice. This Atalanta lane, because of the gyrus in here, which is a unifoliate Cattalaya, grows somewhere in between what bifoliates and unifoliates grow like. And it does, again, you don't want to repot it until it's growing roots, showing new roots, but it wants to be kept a little more evenly moist most of the year. We crossed it back to Cattalaya forma alba, and we made a cross called mariae Bepi. And why did I do this cross? Rather than trying to pick, well, I know why. I wanted to get a plant with a little wider petal than liquid lane has, but I wanted the higher flower count to get with liquid lane. We have I've kept 2 cultivars for this. One of them has the wider petals, and it blooms about 10 flowers on the stem, and it will last in the greenhouse about 4 weeks. The other one, which is the one over here, it blooms a stem with 20 to 22 flowers on it. They only last 2.5 to 3 weeks. Very short, very short. And it's too bad because I like to take it to judgment. It has 22 open flowers on it, but it'll never do that. The first flower starts to drop before the last one's fully open. It needs to work in terms of their yellow cap. Anyway, they crossed it about an hour and made this cross PLC giant. Received the award of quality. And the reason I put this picture up, even though it's quite old, I want you to see how many of those are greens. There's 12 plants. How many of them are really green? 2, 3, and 4. Well, 4 really green flowers. The rest of them are shades of bronze and overlays of various colors. And this is one of the things that's important to remember. When we make it green bronze, not everything that comes out is going to be green. And this cross only produced a few green ones. One of them was green giant and mist, which I happened to have got a piece of from a friend some years ago. And I crossed it to Atalanta Lane, and I made this cross, which is called PLC Memoria Carl Stam. And what I was doing was, I knew that green giant is the name it implies, is a big plant. Green giants can grow up about like this from the form, about 2.5, 3 feet up. They're not small plants. Atalanta Lane only grew, before I killed it, only grew about so tall, about a foot and a half, maybe. And so I was looking to reduce the size, but I was also looking to get better petals. And we kind of got there with this cross. And I'm not unhappy with this. This is good. It's named for my uncle, Memorial Carl Stam. Unfortunately, we only got 2 plants out of the cross, and that's it. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And neither one of these are both about almost 5-inch flowers, by the way. They're big flowers. Plants grow about 2.5 feet tall right now. I think they'll eventually get up to about 2 feet because they're still young. Atalanta Lane myself, I crossed it myself because I wanted to get more of this cross. We didn't have the parents anymore for it, really. And this one up here is better than the parent. That one's not too bad. But look at this. We got a pink one out of it. And I looked at that and I said, where did that come from? Because none of the parents, except for the Cattleyas andina, which is buried 3-4 generations back, had any anthocyanin, but we wind up with some anthocyanin. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Atalanta Lane. I'm sorry, these came out of either one. They all did. This one, with the guiana, we used the guiana, this is chase, which is now the form, and we wound up with this beautiful pink color, and this one, which has anthocyanin in it, and this one is more typical of what we get. Now, one of the things about this, because of the guiana in it, it grows much more like a unifolia Cattlaya, which likes to be between about night temperatures down to between around 55, they can go lower. Watering is a little more constant, and this one blooms. We've had these bloom almost any time of the year. Not the same plant, but different plants tend to have different blooming seasons, which is kind of cool. It's nice to be able to get something like that. Made this cross also. I don't have a picture of Verdant Venture Jacks too, but just imagine a flower about 7 inches across, 6 to 7 inches across. That's bright green with a frilly lip. And that's what Verdant Venture is. And again, we get this range of colors. And again, we get purple coming out, we get the pink coming out, and it's obviously buried somewhere in the background of these plants that this color can happen. Most of them have been in these green and white shades. And I show you a range of pictures, but I don't. When you see a picture in a catalog or a picture on the web, they say, oh, this is this cross, such and such. They only show you one flower on the cross. You've got to realize that when you buy a cross like that, you don't necessarily get one that looks just like that. And so what I try to do is to picture as many different ones that I've bloomed out as I can. And by the way, if you want to see more of what we do, please like our Facebook page. And if you start digging through it, you'll find there's about 2,000 pictures to look at. We put a lot of pictures up. And there are some crosses where we have 20 plants pictured. So you get an idea of what the cross is really like. And here's something else. When you buy a seedling and you bloom it out, here's something to remember. It's unique and you own it. There are no copies. There are no clones. There are no divisions. It's all yours. That's different than when you buy a clone. You really don't buy a clone. When you buy a seedling and you put it out, it's all yours. And going a little bit further, Stuart's made another cross with leaflet laying with bicolor alba to make fivewood, and this is called Green Treasure. And I love this because I have the original Stuart's tag still on it with Ernest Hetherington, who was the president of Stuart's, who was a friend of mine, still with his handwriting on it saying best green with rosehip out of this cross. Kind of cool. We self it because again, the one we had is the only plant in existence, so I self it. And I've been really struck by how good, this is the first one that bloomed, and it's much better than the parent. This one is not too bad, except it's kind of curly, but it shows the green and white instead of the picture. And then it bloomed out a couple that were this kind of bronzy color, which is not too much of a surprise since Cattalaya bicolor was involved in the cross. And again, these are bifoliates again, and they really need to be treated as such. Cattalaya granulosa. Granulosa is probably the most unheralded green parent there is because a lot of people don't recognize what its influence was. It was crossed with Ethel Merman, and I don't have a picture, but Ethel Merman's an old white with a colored lip. You know those guys, the white the city albas? That's what it was. And they crossed it with granulosa with Wallace. And Wallace produced a range of colors from green to yellow to peach color. And the green ones, Galaxy being one of them, have been used to make other crosses. And let's look at a couple of those crosses. Some of them you will recognize. One of the first ones that came along was Wallace by Zanvet to make PLC Memoria Helen Brown. And Memoria Helen Brown has been tissue cultured, it's been spread all over the country, and it can be quite a good sized plant. It can produce growths up to about 2 feet tall, and it can produce a flower stem with as many as 12 5-inch flowers. It's been known to do that. I've never seen it. Stuart's told me, Ernest Hetherington told me that it would, so I believe it. But I've certainly seen it 4, 5, 6 flowers on the stem, no problem. And this has become a premier breeder of greens in itself. Now, this plant, Memoria Helen Brown, really grows like a unifolia Cattleyas. It's not, even though it sometimes has 2 leaves on the stem, it really doesn't grow like a bifolia. It's much less sensitive to being repotted and tends to be a real horse of a grower, tends to grow lots and lots of good roots. One of the things I hate is people who don't pay attention to the vigor of their plants when they breed. And we had that going on in the 60s and 70s when people bred for the flower, didn't pay much attention to the vigor of the plant. And we turned out some crosses like Hazel Boyd, which has beautiful flowers, hardly anything better than yellows and oranges practically, but the plants are terrible growers. They're awful growers. They twist, the leaves twist, the plants get very rough. They do grow reasonable really slow. But this plant, maybe you can read that it tends to grow really well. Wallace is crossed with Braswell Digbiana and Lester McDonald. And Lester McDonald was just recently remade by Carter and Holmes. And they can bloom out either green like this or green with a purple lip. There's some really nice cultivars of this that have come out. And there's been some recent awards to them because of prior to Holmes remaking the cross. But when Green's Fantasy, with Lester McDonald, was crossed back to and Wallace, we made BLC Greenwich. And Greenwich, and unfortunately, it doesn't show up here too well. Greenwich has really bright green petals and a purple lip. And there are 3 or 4 cultivars of this that have been cloned, one of them being Elmhurst, which is probably the best known. And if you want a green that can grow well just about anywhere, this one is hard to beat. And you can still find it available from time to time. But it is very, very good grower and very strong. Ann Wallace was crossed to DLC Greenheart with a Rubens Verde lime shirt. I have this plant in my collection, Rubens Verde. The flowers are about 6.5, 7 inches. They're huge flowers, okay? There's another problem. It's a huge plant. This grows unifoliate, and the leaf and ball is easily 18 inches long. It can be a real force of a grower. And if you have room for it, it's certainly worth your effort to grow it, because it is a really nice flower. And it smells. One of the things about Big Vienna that I like so much was fragrance. Well, any of these hybrids like this, like Lester McDonald, Greenwich, or Rubens Verde, carry that fragrance. But instead of being only at night, you smell it during the day, which is kind of nice, since I'm never in the greenhouse at 8 o'clock. Mariae has been the small plant with a big surprise. It will be made Epitaph Vienna Woods. It was crossed to Ann Wallace to make Epitaph Mary Green. And Mariae is not a big flower. It's only about, across the petals, it's only about 3 inches. This Mary Green, they're about 5.5 inches across. The size comes from the Ann Wallace side. It comes from granulosa. Granulosa is not a small, whereas guttata is only about a 3-inch flower, granulosa is about a 5-inch flower. And so you get that coming through in this cross. And there's another cross out there which is even more well known as Epitaph Bly, which was mariae by Ann Wallace. I remember way back in the old days, 1980, I showed one of these at an orchid show. And the Cattleyas had just been released onto the market as seedlings. So I showed one. And it was passed over for judging. So I asked one of the senior judges there, I said, why was this passed over? Why wasn't this pulled? And he said, well, we looked at it, that parentage can't be right. Well, they had egg on their face because it turned out the parentage was right, and there were several others that were eventually shown and awarded, and it became very clear that, yes, you can get a flower that big. And it was like 4.5, 5 inches across. So much bigger than what they could expect. There's another cross which I have liked, and it took me a long time to find it. It's this cross with mariae. Mariae by Big Vienna makes grass under Jim Wallace. Now, I don't know why this plant is difficult to grow, but it is. And I wouldn't have expected it to be. Now, I know that the mariae are not easy plants for most people to grow. I can't grow them. But I didn't expect crossing that with Vienna that it would be difficult, but it is. But it's such a useful parent that after looking around for the last 10 years, I finally found some. And so I bought one. I have this Jim Wallace deal. It's been cloned. And so it is available occasionally, and I have to find something else. Now, when we take mariae, take the Epitaph Cattalaya Vienna Woods across the pink rhoda spots. Now, Penny Corota has been one of the really interesting parents of the last 20 years, 30 years. And if you look in the Sanders list of work, the Sanders list, you'll find it listed as Cattalaya Penny Corota, parentheses, group. There's a whole cast of these Penny Corotas that have come about from sowing or whatever. And not all of them are purple splashed with pink sepals and spots. Some of them are almost white. You cross with the Vienna woods, and some of the cross came out like this. This is Cyan J. Not all of them did. I've seen pictures of some of the others, and they're purples. But some came out green and white. Another cross done very similar to that is Feldspar spot crossed with Vienna woods. And you make same tree fantasy. And in here we see some that are green and white, we see some that green with some of the purple stuff. Now, the Epichat Vienna woods, I've grown this in the past, and it's not too hard. It does like to be on the warm side. It does like to be a little damper than guttata alba, but it also likes to be a little cooler and drier in the winter. The Cyan J is pretty easy to grow if you let it dry a little bit between water, by the way. It likes to take temperatures over a wide range. Memorial Browns cross Waikiki Gold. Waikiki Gold is in Cattalaya Orchids. I remember I mentioned that there was Orchids someplace going on here. And it makes a cross called Victor Louis Cartier. This is Carlos Green. And I bring this up because when you take Victor Louis Cartier and cross it to Brassinet to Wallace, you make Yamada Ara Orchid Green Blade. Now, you may see some Orchid of Green Blade variety Shingetsu, which is this one, for sale in the future out of Walboro Orchids. If you see it, buy it. Number one, that's my pet. And I had a clone and I sold it to the Walboro Orchids. Number two, this is one of the most vigorous growing green Cattleyas I've ever seen. The plants only get up to about maybe this tall. They can throw stems of 3 to 5 flowers, and they're not small. They're upwards of this. When that was awarded its AM, it was 14.5 centimeters, just short of 5 inches. And they grow roots like crazy. It's an easy plant to grow, and it blooms more than once a year. They'll bloom 2 or 3 times a year. So when you see these for sale, grab them. They're well worth it if you want a green flower. This is a good cross.
What's the name of it again? Is that one on the bottom?
It's Yamada Ara Orchid of Green Blade. And the cultivar name is Shingetsu, S-H-U-N-G-E-T-S-U. If you're wondering what that is, that's Japanese for spring moon. Long story about the name.
Spell it again.
S-H-U-N-G-E-T-S-U. Shingetsu. Anyway, this cross was done by a friend of mine by the name of Roger Cole, and it's probably one of the best crosses I think he's ever done. He's made a lot of good crosses, but this one I think is one of the best for 2 reasons. One, it has good colors, and 2, it grows well. It's a good grower. And that's something I think is very important. Large green flower spread, one of them is PLC Forest of Paradise. You've seen these for sale. This one is Emerald Isle, this is green, and this is Linares Green Giant. Now, Linares Green Giant was owned by Cattalaya Orchids. They got the FCC on it back in the 70s, late 70s, and they had a clone. And they sold the clones in 4-inch pots, not moving size, for $400 a piece. And if you wanted to buy a piece of this plant, it was a mere $100,000, what they were asking for. So, you know, some orchids can be expensive. But here's the fun part. When it was cloned and they released it, the Hawaiians bought up these plants, and they recloned it, okay? And they got ready to release them onto the market, only to find out that Fort Caroline had patented the plant. So they were stuck with hundreds of these thousands of them actually, of Americans they couldn't sell. Well, Fort Caroline went out of business and they pulled it up, and guess what? They started to sell it. And you can find it now available. And it was the best of the Green Giant, the Ports of Paradise. Here's the thing. This is a green-yellow. Most of the things we've seen previously have been green-whites. When this fades from green, it goes to yellow. And if you grow it in bright light, they are much more yellow, like this one. I grew this at the top of the greenhouse, and it's much more yellow than it is if you grow it shaded. If you want it to be green, grow it shaded. When you see the buds start up in the shade, put it in a shaded place. And these flowers all tend to be quite large. And some recent ones, Product Green Deluxe, you'll see this available. And this one is Dajo, has an AOS, and it's a really bright green. This slide doesn't show it well. But here's some, I found this one pictured. Again, not everything came out of this cross is green. Only some of them are. And one of my favorites is this one, it's Cat Green Power, which is Ports of Paradise cross with DLC Golden Square, which is a plant that comes out of Taiwanese breed. And Cat Green Power is also out of that breed. And Cat Green Power, big flower, bright green, does go to yellow eventually, but it stays green longer than Ports of Paradise does. And then finally there was Ports of Fortune, which was Ports of Paradise cross back and Fortune, big flower, but it's not as green, and frankly, out of the cross, there's only been one that I know of that's been around, and it's the award of it. Cat Green Power, Triple G, is one of the cultivars. There are others, and they're all good greens. But this cross, Ports of Fortune, here's the only one that's bigger. Helen Brown was crossed with something called DLC Green Fantasy to make DLC 3 Suns. This is a good green, and it's, again, not a plant for the faint of heart because it does get big. These can be 2 feet tall, but the flowers can be 5-6 inches across. They're nice flowers, they are true green, and this grows more like a uniform Cattalaya, is much more tolerant of mistreatment than a bifolia. And so if you want a good green, you do see these around occasionally. They're well worth giving. And DLC Magic Meadow was sticking out across into Victoria Helen Brown. Irish Mist is one of the ones out of the original cross. There's one running around now called Napoleon, which is quite nice. And it's also an easy grower. Ivory made the cross. This is the first one to know how to ivory make. And it's one of the few I've seen that is pure green. Most of them have some red in the throat, some anthocyanin marking in the throat. But Magic Meadow, so far, we've blown maybe 8 or 10 of these, and they have varied from this pure green to ones with a fair amount of red pigment. Finally, we're going to close with this. Here's an oddball cross. Take Lagoon, cross it to Big Piana, you make DLC Trio, and don't believe the blue. That is the problem with the slide I had to copy, was very old. It makes ELC trio. It's called trio because there are 3 species in it. The good, Cattleyas, guttata, and perhaps we'll get beyond. And it's kind of an odd looking flower. And Stewart's crossed into mariae brown to make a cross which has never been named. I'm going to have to name it because I kind of like it. But this one's called Lori Miku, that's the cultivar, and the other one is Diane. And they are extremely sturdy growers. I have divisions of this when he's sitting around the greenhouse right now, and they bloom more than once a year, which I've been very happy about. But they grow fast. They make local leaves grow fast. Anyway, it's kind of a strange cross, and I want to get into that. And we'll conclude with chlorophyll in the flowers is the source of the green. That's where the green comes from. That's the first thing. Encylia mariae is the only normally green with a white lip. Remember the Cattalaya group used in green breeding. Algal forms and mostly green forms have made up the basis of the rest of the species that have been used. And again, there are 2 types of yellow, the green yellow and the green white. The green white give you flowers that stay green longer because they don't have a yellow pigment behind them. And the green yellow will initially fade to yellow, sometimes it's fairly good. Anyway, that's the problem. If you have any questions about cultivation or anything, please ask. You can't lay this in general. Yes. Mariae, northern part of the tropical zone is found fairly far north. There's another plant that's also found in that same relative area, and that is what's called Encylia citrina, which is a bright yellow flower, and it grows much colder. It's much more difficult plant to grow. Mariae is a little work in a little cooler plant. Most people can grow mariae. Down here I wouldn't try it, but Encylia citrina I've tried growing in 2 places where I couldn't get through enough summer, and it really did not thrive. But citrina has these bright yellow flowers.
How cool is it for summer? How cool is that summer?
What?
How cool should the summer be?
I'm sorry?
Citrina, how cool does it be?
Oh, you got to get it down into the 50s, high 40s, or low 40s. Yeah. It likes to be really cool. Encylia Atalanta, whatever it's called now, is also protected by Atalanta. This is a red orange one now, almost the same area. Again, you can't get it down into the 50s at night, or even the 40s. It's not going to do well. Yeah, if you have to try to grow it at 60 at night, it will be bad for the nature. Yeah, believe me, try it. And the people I know who grow up fast are usually people who grow fast in houses and houses. But there are some. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.